So, I just watched The Third Day, and my god, was I impressed, because I've never heard about this show before, and I just watched it out of pure curiosity, having stumbled across it, and all of a sudden I found myself stumbling down a dark and twisted narrative of folk horror and grief and despair, and frankly, it makes me wonder, how have I not eh, seen this before? How am I just now finding out about this show? The Third Day is a 6 episode miniseries starring Jude Law, and it is a show you have probably seen before, only it is much better than all the other versions of this same story that has been told time and time again for decades now. Because, seriously, The Third Day is, at its core, it is The Wicker Man. It is Midsummer. It is a little bit The Witch. It's kind of like Mayday, the show with Littlefinger in it, which wasn't terrible actually, although it wasn't as good as I think it perhaps could have been. Um, and I kid you not, The Third Day is also very very much, um, it's very Lovecraft, um, it's subtle Lovecraft, but oh so very Lovecraftian. From the very creepy Innsmouther pictures and paintings to the very cult atmosphere. And actually, in that regard, I think The Third Day is it's just shy a retelling of The Shadow over Innsmouth. And that doesn't spoil anything because it takes some wildly different turns to dear old Innsmouth, which I believe I mentioned is my favorite H.P. Lovecraft story. But I digress. Um, the Third Day is just ripe with these crazy primordial energies, this mad folk horror that borders on the cosmic. Um, and that makes it something quite special, I think. And I'm gonna try not to spoil anything because it is such a great show that I think you should definitely watch it. It has something for just the pure horror fans, for the more occult supernatural fans, the drama fans, the mystery fans. There's a little something for everyone, as long as you're not too squeamish. Um, but Jude Law he plays a guy named Sam, who Sam has issues. Okay, don't get me wrong. I mean, seriously, Sam is like, he's like Apocalypse Now levels of out there, but he's also a father. He's plus fatherhood, because his son was tragically unalived, and he is racked with guilt for not having saved him, and he is in mourning, um, and his life is falling apart. He has issues at home with his wife and his two surviving daughters, and he is just a mess. Okay, and it becomes clear even that Sam is struggling with mental illness, whether brought on by his son's death or much more long-standing, I don't know. And I kind of like not knowing, honestly. It makes what happens next so much more crazy. Because Sam is out in the woods one day when he comes across a young woman in need of help. And he rescues her, and he takes her back to her home on an island called Osi, which you can only access via a causeway, which is then quite conveniently closed off from the world, right? The causeway, the waters rise, and Sam is stuck on that island. And Aussie is like a real island. It kind of makes me wonder what the actual people who live there think about all the folk horror that occurs in the show. But yeah, Sam obviously he's sticking around, looking after the young lady's safety, making sure she's all right, and weird stuff starts happening. You know, that very Wicker Man, Midsummer-ish. All is not as it seems. Things are really wrong here. And it's almost like the island doesn't want him to leave, right? The waters conveniently rise. The he has no cell phone reception, so he can't call anyone. He's like fully trapped. And yeah, that's like the first 3 episodes is the first arc of the show is Sam stuck on Osi, learning about the strange culture and the people there come across as so creepy. And did I mention that Patty Considine is in this? King Viseris from House of the Dragon. Um, and like he's playing one of my like favorite characters on the show. He runs the inn or something, and he comes across as so smug and charming and a little creepy and a little friendly, and he has an explanation for all the weird stuff that happens, and he's very reasonable, you know, and he's very polite, you know, and it, that makes it so good. Every little twist that happens, he's around to sort of play into your paranoia, right? You don't know what's going on, but you don't like it. Um, and you know what? This show is really good at making you think they're going to take the easy way out. They make you think that they're going to define things in black and white, and they make you think that they're going to give you a clear, straight answer. And they don't. They are cleverer than that. They keep you on your toes. They explain only what they need to for the plot to progress, for you to understand the plot, which is not to say that you understand the island or whether or not there's actual magic going on. Um, but you know what's going on in the plot. Piece by piece, mind you, and it is a mystery, so you're learning as the episodes go on more and more crazy stuff. And there is still a lot of mystery even at the end. Don't get me wrong. And by the second act of the show, the second arc, somewhat leaving Sam behind, I thought for sure that they were going to let me down, that the characters were going to be less interesting, that I just had that vibe, that fear in my heart. And then they didn't. They tie it all together in this beautiful little knot with twist, and I fully was delighted to see the nightmarish turn of the last 3 episodes of the show. And I was floored. Like my only complaint with the third day, really, and it's kind of a big one, I guess, considering the importance of. There's this one character, Jess, played by Catherine Waterston, I think is her name. But Jess, she's kind of an kind of an important character because she is someone else stuck on the island with Sam, right? That's um, her motivations are unclear, and I find the character a little bit confusing. Now, there's a bit of unreliable narrator-ish stuff going on, so it's hard to tell if that's maybe why she's a little confusing. This is this is a slight spoiler, but not really. But for the first episode there, I had a little thought in the back of my mind that she was maybe a figment of Sam's imagination. Um, she's not, so I guess that is a bit of a spoiler, but I mean, not really. Um, but she's a fine character, honestly. And not every character needs to be like four-dimensional. Um, but her character does change and grow. But we don't actually see the growth occur. We just see the changes after they take place, if that makes any sense at all. And I could do with an explanation as to her motivations for doing a lot of the things that she does. Um, and we don't get that. So that's like the closest thing I can come to legitimate criticism of the third day is that one character is off to me. Um, but like that's like it. That's it's fascinating and brilliant, and in terms of like supernatural mysteries and a little bit horror, it's it's just shy of Twin Peaks for me. I mean, really, and that's why I'm so amazed that people like have kind of forgotten about it. Like it's not considered one of the greatest, arguably one of the greatest shows ever made. Which I'm not entirely sure it's that, but it's really good. Don't get me wrong. I dare say I loved it. Um, so yeah, um, it does end on not even a cliffhanger, but it they wrap things up quickly, and that's not a bad thing. Uh, they don't leave you guessing, right? You can intuit everything that's going to happen next after the end credits roll, but yeah, it's terrific. Really, the third day. It's pretty great, and I think you should watch it definitely. If anything that I've said interests you even a little bit, I think you'll be impressed. Um, so yeah, like and subscribe if you want to hear me talk about more stuff like this. I've been Connor Landon Freeman, author and game designer. Um, I'll have more for you soon. So yeah, bye.